Yo guys, what is going on? It's Lukey here and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be focusing on the top 10 class setups after the most recent updates. There's been a bunch of changes lately and everyone is a little bit confused on what attachments to use and also what weapons to use. I'm going to get into this video as fast as possible. If you guys do like straight to the point videos like this, make sure to subscribe for more. But without further ado, this is the first class. So the first class is the LC10, by far one of the best SMGs at the moment. Very nice iron sights on this thing as well. I do really like the iron sights on the LC10. We got the fast mag because the fast mags are pretty good on the SMGs at the moment. We have the serpent wrap, which increases the ADS time. A lot of people are starting to use the serpent wrap. And then we have the task force barrel, the raider stock, and then of course the suppressor. So I definitely recommend you guys using this class. I've been using it a lot lately. It's very good, especially on rebirth. Next up we have the FARA. Now as you guys know, the FARA used to be used as a secondary close range weapon, but now after the most recent changes, you want to use this thing more as a long range assault rifle instead. So these are the attachments, pretty basic attachments, pretty much just like any weapon. I do want to quickly mention, for the optic, you guys can use whatever sight you guys want to. At the moment, a lot of people are using the SUSAT multi-zoom, the Axle 3 times, the 2 times. There are a lot of good sights at the moment, so make sure to go ahead and experiment with some of the sights and see which one you like. But for now, I'm just using the Axle 3 times. For the next class, we have the Stoner 63, which is probably one of the best LMGs at the moment. I've seen a lot of big YouTubers making videos on this. I've tried it out myself, and it is very, very good. Agency suppressor, task force, we've got the Axle 3 times scope, we've got the fast mag, which is needed because the reload time is absolutely ass, and then we've got the SFOD speed grip, which is just going to help the mobility a little bit more. Next up we have the Kar98K. I'm not going to talk too much about this weapon because pretty much everyone already probably knows that this is one of the best snipers you can be using. The attachments haven't changed, the attachments are still the same. There they are if you guys want to know. But without further ado, let's get on to the next class. So the next class is going to be the KRIG 6. And after the most recent update, this has been a very good weapon ever since they introduced the new map. When they introduced the new map, there was a lot of weapon changes, and this was one of the weapons that got buffed the most. It's a very good weapon. One of the different changes, if you guys remember, back before the update, people were using the 45 round magazine, but now they've changed it again. So you can now use the 60 round magazine if you guys want to. So that's just one of the things that is pretty confusing. The magazines seem to be getting changed all the time. They get nerfed, they get buffed, and it's just all over the place. Next up we have the M4A1. I'm going to be giving you guys 2 builds for this. This one right here is more of a long range M4A1. If you guys want to, you can swap the tac laser with a VLK 3 times optic. That's completely up to you guys. Or if you guys want to, a close range build, you can actually go ahead and take off the tac laser and put on no stock. No stock gives the M4A1 very high mobility. It's got a very fast time to kill compared to a lot of other weapons, and it can definitely compete. It's got a faster time to kill than the LC10 at close range. So honestly, I recommend giving this one a go. It's very underrated. Next up we have the BULLFROG. The BULLFROG is by far one of the best SMGs at the moment. Very similar to the LC10. You don't need an underbarrel on this thing anymore. I recommend using the serpent wrap instead because it's going to allow you to aim down sight a lot faster, a lot quicker, and you're going to be able to win those gunfights a lot easier because you're going to be able to aim down sight so much faster. So serpent wrap is definitely one of the best attachments you guys can be using on SMGs at the moment. Next up we have the CR56 AMAX. Once again, I'm not going to talk about this one too much because pretty much everyone already knows the attachments to this one. It did get a nerf, but it definitely is still top tier. So the attachments are still the same. There they are if you guys are interested. Next up, we're going to be talking about the GRAU. Once again, the GRAU, the attachments are still the same on this thing. They haven't changed for a very long time. If you guys want to, you can take off the tac laser and put on a VLK 3 times optic to make it very, very accurate. But I like to use the tac laser because it gives you a lot more mobility. But that is just my opinion. You guys can go ahead and experiment with that if you guys want to. Next up is a weapon not many people are talking about in my opinion, and that is the Ram 7. The Ram 7 is a very good weapon. It's got a different recoil pattern to the other weapons, so you do have to be a bit careful with that. It does go up to the left instead of up to the right like most weapons, so when you are controlling the recoil on this, it might feel a little bit weird because you have to basically control it in the opposite direction as most other weapons, but it still is a very good weapon. So I really recommend you guys using that. Now for the next two, that is the top 10, but for the next two, I want to give an honorable mention for the last two classes. Now, I wasn't sure which one to add into this video, so I just thought I'll give them as honorable mentions at the end. So basically, we got both of the MP5s. We got the Cold War MP5 and also the Modern Warfare MP5. Both of these are very, very good, but I just couldn't decide which one I wanted to put into the top 10 video, so I thought I would just add them as honorable mentions at the end. So this MP5 for the Modern Warfare class is it's basically a hipfire class. It's very, very good at close range, and it's insanely accurate. It's got one of the best mobility in the game out of all the SMGs, and it's also got one of the best hipfire spreads in the game. It's so accurate when you hip fire with it, and it's such a fun class to use. Next up, we got the MP5 from Cold War. This one is just a normal like an SMG class. It's not a hip fire build or anything like that, but it does have one of the fastest time to kills in the entire game. Now that has been it for today's video, guys. Thank you for watching. Make sure to comment down below what class setup you're using, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.